The watch model code is 226570. I measured the case diameter as 42 millimeters, thickness as 12.2 millimeters, and length from lug to lug as 49.7 millimeters. This model is one of the largest and most defined Rolex models currently on sale. Let me show it alongside the Date Just 41 model for comparison. On paper, it seems there is only a 1 millimeter difference between them, but we can say the shape of the case and the light-colored dial make the watch appear larger. This is, of course, the version with the white dial. The black one may look a bit smaller on the wrist. However, when Explorer II is mentioned, the white dial has long been the first choice that comes to mind. Apart from the sides of the case, the entire bezel is made of brushed steel. We know that, unlike many other brands, Rolex has been using 904L steel for many years now. 24-hour indices are successfully marked in black numerals on the fixed steel bezel. At the 3 o'clock position, we can also see the screw-down crown, which is among the classic Rolex crown types, and the embossed crown emblem on it. Considering the screw-down crown and the promised 100 meters of water resistance, I think I can say it's a watch that can easily be worn in the sea or the pool. There is no detail to describe on the caseback. There is a flat caseback that can be opened with a special Rolex tool. Underneath is the heart of the watch, the 3285 caliber automatic Rolex movement. Rolex also uses the same movement in the current GMT Master 2 series. This movement, produced since 2021, has a power reserve of 70 hours, and thanks to the independently moving hour hand, features true GMT functionality. A movement that operates with 28,800 beats per hour, offering hand winding and hacking features at a chronometer level precision. Rolex, not satisfied with only COSC, also guarantees that the watch will gain or lose a maximum of plus or minus 2 seconds per day and provides an international warranty service for 5 years. Before moving on to the front, let's talk about the bracelet as always. This is an oyster-type bracelet connected to the case with a width of 22 millimeters and elegantly tapering to 17 millimeters towards the clasp. The top surfaces, just like the case, are composed of fully satin-finished brushed matte surfaces. And again, like the case, the sides of the bracelet are designed as polished shiny. I haven't come across a brand in years that can produce a better bracelet in terms of fluidity, craftsmanship, and comfort. This bracelet offers the same comfort to the user. The double security clasp also looks extremely safe and flawless. It is possible to extend or shorten the bracelet length by half a centimeter without any tools, thanks to the ability to fold the last links inside if desired. A cleverly thought out detail that will be very useful especially when you start sweating on hot summer days. As a result, I can say that I've encountered a flawless, very high quality oyster bracelet as I expected. And finally, we come to the front. Of course, we are first greeted by a flat cut sapphire crystal. The calendar magnifier at the 3 o'clock position, which is a Rolex classic, must have caught your attention as well. This detail is present in almost every Rolex model with the date feature, but I think it has created a very different vibe, especially on this white dial. Of course, as a function, it provides a 2.5 times magnification effect, making the date underneath easy to read. When looking at the front, our attention is drawn to the hour and minute hands called Mercedes hands, designed quite thickly on the white dial as a Rolex classic. The black markers provide very high readability. This watch can actually be considered as a GMT watch. As I mentioned earlier, it shares the same movement with the GMT Master. The GMT hand is also quite large but is chosen in orange to avoid confusion. Sometimes small details in designs can create big differences. In this watch, having the Explorer II inscription in orange on the dial to support the GMT hand achieves exactly that, I can say. On a design expected to be extremely dull black and white, distinguishing the watch's second function with a different and striking color has, in my opinion, added a serious sporty vibe. The GMT hand is generally a detail in this type of watch that makes it difficult to read the time at first glance, creating confusion. I think this watch is the most legible GMT watch I have seen, allowing you to distinguish both the time and the GMT hand at a glance without confusion. Moreover, this situation remains the same in the dark. The hands and indices are filled with chromolite lume material that glows blue in the dark. I have had the chance to review almost every model of Rolex watch until today. I can say that this Explorer II has a slightly better lume performance than even the Submariner model, which has very successful lume. There is both a very strong and bright luminescence, and the hands and indices can maintain this for long durations. Maybe we won't use it inside a cave anymore, but seeing that it's still given importance was very enjoyable for me. Now let's move on to my general opinions about the watch and its place in the Rolex collection. I think the Explorer II is both the most Rolex-like Rolex watch at the moment and the one that doesn't reveal it's a Rolex. In my opinion, it is a perfect model for being a tool watch, which makes Rolex what it is. An extremely robust case houses an incredibly precise and durable movement, not causing issues in harsh environmental conditions. It also has many advantages like carrying the calendar and GMT features, which can benefit me the most, and it does this while staying as far away from ostentation as possible. There's no colorful bezel that allows you to track a third time zone like the GMT Master Series, which I think is more popular, nor can it dive to greater depths like the Submariner, but it has taken on many roles from both. It has better luminescence than a diving watch and higher readability than a GMT watch. Especially, this more popular white color, also known as the Polar Explorer, has one more big advantage. Today, when you say a sporty watch with a white dial and a steel bracelet, especially looking at brands above a certain level, I think there aren't many alternatives. I had mentioned this before in the Hamilton Khaki Field Expedition review if you remember. The first serious competitor that comes to mind is the Omega Seamaster 300 White. It is also a very nice watch, but I never quite liked its bracelet. It also doesn't have the GMT function. Breitling and Tag Heuer also have a couple of similar models that come to mind, but in many ways they will also fall behind this one. On the relatively more economical side, I still think the white dial Hamilton Expedition is the best alternative in this regard. There aren't many similar parts aside from easy readability, white dial and steel bezel, but the Hamilton can be purchased at 1/10 the price. In that respect, I still stand by what I said in the video where I reviewed that watch. To be honest, I also think Rolex might discontinue the Explorer II model within a few years. Among all the flashy bezels, colorful dials, golds and platinums, this watch is one of the least noticeable Rolexes. Nowadays, many Rolex customers seem to prioritize the watch on the wrist being recognized as a Rolex from 10 meters away. We will see what happens in the future. However, if Rolex discontinues this watch, I think there will be a lack of a white sports watch in their catalog. This year, 2 different Rolex models have also been featured on our channel, if you remember. One of them was exactly like I just mentioned, the mint color, one of the most sought after colors of the Datejust series that screams, "I am a Rolex." And the other one is the Oyster Perpetual model, which we can mention as one of the cheapest and simplest among Rolex's men's models. After this video, you can click here and continue from here. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.